if you could create a beautiful storybook watercolor scene without being an artist? Today I'll show you how with the new Spellbinders Storybook Illustrations collection. Hi, I'm Kelly Wicker. Welcome back to my channel and my craft room. I hope you all stick around to see how I made one of these cards. For today's card project share, I'm creating with another brand new release from Spellbinders. This is the Storybook Illustrations collection by Josh Griffiths Studio. I received 5 of the products this collection through the Spellbinders affiliate program. I received Wild Friends custom woodland stamp set and Into the Wild, and then I got the Words for the Wild and the Illustrated Man. Super cool. So I wanted to get this video out before my hand surgery on Friday, so I've been busy creating with this collection. So far I've made 2 cards with this set, and today I'll be creating another one, something similar to the storybook style. So here are the 2 cards I made. Super fun. I think they turned out pretty good. What do y'all think? Let me know. Okay, I'm going to have some fun with some watercolors and my paintbrushes and some watercolor cardstock. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the card making fun, y'all. Okay, I'm just having so much fun today with this set. These stamps are so much fun to create with. So for my watercolor cardstock today, I'm using my go-to, my Tim Holtz Distress Watercolor cardstock, along with my MISTI stamping tool to make today's 1-layer watercolor card. And the watercolor cardstock that I purchased is the 3-pack from Amazon. And you can get it around $16 and some change around there. Sometimes it's $17 and change, but that's where I get it. And it's already comes trimmed down because I make A2 size cards, and it's great for that. It's already measured for you. So if you haven't checked out Josh Griffiths' YouTube channel, it's called Beyond Stamping. Definitely give it a look. He has so many beautiful ideas and techniques to help inspire your card making using all his stamps. It's so fun. So for my stamping, I'm using VersaFine black ink, just like Josh often uses in his videos. So now I'm just simply arranging all the stamps to build my little woodland scene here, deciding where I want the critters and the scenery to go down. I wish I was a little bit better at masking some of this, but I'll work on that. Okay, so for today's watercoloring, I'm getting out my Altenew Watercolor pan set. As you can probably tell, this set is very well loved. I've had it in my craft room for years, and I still reach for it all the time. I'm starting by painting the sky, and honestly, I'm just having fun with it, y'all. I did speed this footage up because the scene probably took me maybe an hour and a half, or something like that to stamp and paint in real time. Watercolor isn't something I like to rush. I wasn't quite sure how the sky was going to turn out while I was painting it, but I actually like the soft, loose watercolor look. It doesn't have to be perfect, and that's one of the things I enjoy most about watercolor. Do you like watercoloring, or do you find it a little intimidating? For me, projects like this make watercolor so much more approachable because Josh's stamps do so much of the work for you. You're really just bringing the scene to life with color. So you may notice I'm taking my time today, and that's because my hand has been giving me quite a bit of trouble. So just a little side information about what's been going on. I have some trigger fingers. I've had trigger finger surgery before on a few fingers, and now I have it again on my ring finger. And I also have a hand disease that creates these nodules in my hand, and they're going to be removing those. So holding onto a paintbrush for long periods has become pretty uncomfortable. So I'm actually having hand surgery, which I'm filming this, so this is Thursday, so I'm having hand surgery tomorrow, Friday, to take care of all those issues. So I wanted to get this video finished before then, hopefully. So I'm just having fun painting in the bushes here. I'm also a little behind on filming because I was sick all last week. At first, we thought it might have been related to the lettuce stuff that's been going around. So I even ended up at an after-hours doctor's appointment Thankfully, it turned out to just be a viral stomach bug, and I'm finally feeling much better. Now, if we could just get this hand paint under control, I'll be in good shape. Even though coloring with Copics and watercolor has become more challenging, I still keep doing it because I genuinely find it relaxing. Sitting down to create cards is one of my favorite ways to unwind, and I hope it encourages you to pull out your supplies and have fun creating too. Alright, enough on that. Now it's back to the watercoloring scene. I'm working on the bushes here. My paintbrushes I'm using are the older Altenew paintbrushes. I did find them on Amazon. I did find the pan set also on Amazon, so I will link those below with my Amazon affiliate link. So even though I probably could have done a little more masking here, like I said earlier, I'm really happy with how everything is coming together. So for my bushes, I'm using several different shades of green instead of just one because I just wanted some depth. So I'm mixing lighter and darker greens. I just thought that was more fun and, just add some more color. So, and it looks a little more natural, I think. So I'm also adding plenty of water to my paint to dilute the colors, which creates those soft watercolor layers and lets the colors build up gradually. That's one of the things I love about watercolor. You don't need a lot of paint. By changing the amount of water and mixing a few different greens together, you can create such a variation and really bring a simple scene to life. I think it's starting to look like a little cozy little woodland setting, don't you think? So if you're enjoying today's project, I'd really appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It really helps support my channel and lets me keep bringing you more card making inspiration. So now I'm painting the little path here for the critters. I'm using a brown watercolor mixed with a little antique linen distress oxide ink because I didn't want the path to be too dark. So I wanted it to have a nice soft worn storybook look. At least that's what I was trying to go for. Isn't the scene starting to come together? It's amazing how a few stamps and some watercolors can create such a charming little woodland scene. I'm just having so much fun with this. And I'm going to be creating several more cards for this collection, which I can't wait to do after I finish this video. One thing I really love about the Wild Friends stamp set is how many adorable critters you get to build your own scenes. There are bears, hedgehogs, a wolf, deer, bunnies, birds, and so many other woodland friends. You can mix and match them to create a completely different card every time, which makes the set so versatile. And don't feel like you have to watercolor these stamps. They would look good just as beautiful colored with alcohol markers, colored pencils, or whatever your favorite medium is. That's one of the things I love about this collection. It really works with so many different coloring styles. You can even, like I said, get out your colored pencils and your Gamsol and have fun. I also have the Illustrated Man stamp set, and I haven't had a chance to play with that one yet, but I already have several ideas swirling around in my head. I think it's going to be a really fun set to create with. So if you'd like to see more cards from the Storybook Illustration collection, be sure to let me know in the comments below. I have a feeling this collection is going to get a lot of use in my craft room. The scenes are just so fun, so relaxing to create with, and every time you stamp them, you can tell a completely different little story. It's just so fun. Okay, so I'm not really sure how this is actually looking or going to turn out, but honestly, I'm just having fun with it, and I think that's what crafting is all about, just having fun. I'm definitely not a professional colorist, and I don't even try to be, y'all. I'm simply just sitting down in my craft room, enjoying my time, trying different techniques, experimenting with different coloring mediums, and seeing where the creative process takes me. Sometimes a card turns out exactly how I imagined it, and then other times it surprises me in a completely different way. That's part of the fun, y'all. Every project is a chance to learn something new, build confidence, and maybe even discover a technique you'll want to use again. So don't ever feel like your cards have to be perfect. Just pull out the supplies you already have, experiment, and enjoy the process. You might surprise yourself with what you create. Okay, so for this being my first time creating with Josh's stamps, I have to say I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, y'all. I think this little storybook scene came together really nicely. Could you see yourself creating with any of the stamps from this collection? I'd love to know which set is your favorite. I'll have my Spellbinders affiliate links listed in the description box below, including the I Want It All bundle. The only product I couldn't find was the custom woodland stamp set, but everything else will be linked for you. So now I'm pulling out the Words for the Wild stamp set as you see me here. It includes 16 fun sentiments, and there are so many great ones to choose from. For today's card, I'm using Livin' the Dream because it fits this little woodland scene perfectly. I'm stamping it with my VersaFine black ink to finish off the card. What do you think of today's project? And what about the other cards I've made with this collection? Let me know in the comments below. I always enjoy reading your comments and hearing what you think. I had so much fun watercoloring this card, and I already have more ideas for this collection. I'll be sharing additional projects and photos over on my social media. You can find me as Kelly Wicker Cards on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I mostly share my diamond art painting projects on TikTok, but you never know what else might show up there, like my dogs or whatever. So if you enjoyed today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Every like, comment, and share really helps my channel grow and lets YouTube know you'd like to see more of my videos. And if you made it all the way to the end, leave the word storybook in the comments so I know you were here. Thanks so much for spending some time with me in my craft room today. I truly appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you in the next card making video. Ciao for now.